he was in charge of getting installs done at his last mobile app gaming company, and said, there's no good tool for this. Let me build it. He launched Geeklab.app in 2019. They're doing $60,000 a month today in revenue across 60 paid accounts, up from $27,000 a month just a year ago. They're looking right now at getting a round done, targeting a 1.5 million raise at somewhere near 12 million post-money valuation. Hey folks, my guest today is Jesse Lempiäinen. He's an experienced product manager, marketer, previously at Rovio, leading the launch for Angry Birds Dream Blast and successful collaborations with legends such as Iron Maiden and the Super Bowl. He founded Geeklab to solve app marketing challenges, serving top mobile gaming studios and recipient of the Best App Marketing Agency Award. It's called Geeklab.app. Jesse, you ready to take us to the top?
Hey Nathan, thanks for having me.
So just to be clear, you're helping these mobile app developers get more installs. Are you doing this via software or consulting?
Yeah, exactly. So through software. So in other words, like when you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or whatnot, and you click an ad. So on average, around like 20 to 30% of those people actually only end up installing the app. So we have a software that allows you to optimize that flow and actually make it all the way as high up to 80%. So truly multiply the amount of installs that you'll get.
Interesting. And so a lot of people use like a tool like Pendo for this on their website applications. You sort of help them do this, but inside a mobile app activation process.
Right. And we're actually one step above even. So we're actually at that exact moment when the users decide whether or not they hit the install button. So on the app stores and Google Play Store. So that's kind of our sweet spot where we tackle the marketability issues.
Understood. And give me a general sense of economics here. How much do customers pay on average per month to use the technology?
Yeah. So on average, we're a bit over $1,000 a month, 1,200 ish, and it ranges from all the way up from like $300 a month to like 5,000 plus. So you asked earlier whether we're strictly software or also on the agency side of things. So we don't have an agency, but as you mentioned, we actually won the App Marketing Agency Award this year. So how it goes is that with like the very high end like tiers that pay us like $5,000 a month ish. So we actually are very hands on in helping them not only use our tool, but also building the strategies around like how they can get the most out of our tool and make successful campaigns.
Do you upsell the strategy, a one-time consulting fee of $50,000, or is that just included in their monthly plan?
We've quite a lot like play around with this strategy, and so far we've found that in some use cases it's still like a good hook to sell like a once-off consultancy first and showcase what we can do, and then like based on that like start the ongoing billing. But now these days the best solution we found out is that we actually take 3 months retainer or so and then get it from there, and typically then those like transferred to like ongoing monthly.
Makes sense. Give me more of the background story here. When did you launch the company? What year?
Right. So it was actually 2019 when we got the idea. I was still working at Rovio back at that time, and this was actually a problem that I had at Rovio. So I was trying to find a tool that would allow me to actually find out what would be the best app name for a new game that we were making. And I looked at the market. I saw one tool that didn't work and another one that costed like $60,000 for this one test. And I was like, okay, there's got to be an easy way to do this. Called my friend. I said, let's fix this. He said, yeah, we need 2 other guys to help us actually build this tool. And then we got our founding team together 2019 and got our like first sort of MVP out in 2020, right in the midst of COVID actually. So another COVID like spawn.
So there were 4 co-founders. Did you split equity evenly at the start?
Not really. We've done some shifts after that as well.
It's a tough conversation. It's the first tough conversation you have as a founder, right? So help our audience. How did you guys decide who gets what equity?
Like, so basically we just looked at like what everyone's doing. So what are the responsibilities and how much time as well, like, because we sort of split it between not all the founders jumped into it right away, full time and so on. So like, that was kind of everything. Also part of our company culture from starting from us founders was like no bullshit, and that's what we live by as founders, and we've lived by ever since. So that's how we got with those tough conversations, just strictly talking about like things as they are and putting things on the table and being honest about things.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. So 2019, you get going, first customer that year. Walk us through how many customers do you have now today?
So currently today, we have around 60 paying customers at the moment. So we're talking about game developers mostly, 60-ish. Then we have a soft spot for indie developers and smaller studios trying to make it. So we have plenty of free users too that we
How many?
serve all in all. I mean, we've had over 1,000 signups and actual users.
Well, what does that mean? How many of the 1,000 signups have actually started, installed the software and started using it?
Exactly. So a lot of those, over 90%, has just kind of looked around the tool and not really had the use case for it. So the thing is that with our tool, you can actually create app store pages and kind of these app pages without actually having the app. So we've had a lot of curiosity out of actual people who would want to use the tool for business purposes, just to play around with it and see how their own app could look like. And for
Jesse,
those,
just to say the numbers in a very clear way, 1,000 have signed up today, 90% have played around but then left. So 100 are still sticking around, and 60 of the 100 are paying customers.
Aroundish, yeah. Those numbers are
okay. Interesting. So 60 customers at $1,000 a month would put you at $60,000 a month today in revenue. Where were you exactly 1 year ago?
Yeah, exactly 1 year ago, we were a bit over, close to 30K around.
Okay.
MRR, and then we hit 50K MRR by the end of last year, and we're now on track on reaching 1 million ARR quite soon. So that's currently our next.
And have you bootstrapped or have you raised capital?
So far, 100% bootstrapped.
Oh, great!
But I will say though that that will change this year for sure. For all the other founders as well, they definitely know the pain if they bootstrapped. For us, we've sort of seen currently that it actually limits our growth quite a bit. So, like I said, we have 60. So we have 60 customers now, and one of the core things for us is to be very hands-on helping them to get the most out of the tool, because when we can actually showcase the amount of value that our tool can bring, so then we make our churn negative because they share the growth stories everywhere. Gaming community is awesome. But like for us to be able to do that, we actually have to have like people hands-on helping them and having the expertise in, and bootstrapping with our margins is making it so, and with these economies where we want to have buffer for our employees and make sure that they have a job to go into months ahead. So it's just it takes a lot of time to sort of build up that buffer, and then to kind of hire again to grow again.
Well, but Jesse, I mean, using bootstrapping isn't holding your growth back per se, because like everything you just articulated has nothing to do with growth. It just has to do with people that you think you want to hire ahead of growth. Ultimately, if you hire the people, they've got to be creative enough to go get new users. So where do you know you can spend money to go get new users and grow faster?
Right. And well, that's actually one of the things that we are now like solving as well. Like currently, our sales pipeline is quite focused on founders as well, and gaming community in general. So it's a lot about like outreach, participating on the gaming community, the events and everything.
Yeah, but how does money solve that? You said bootstrapping is restricting you. I mean, from what you're telling me, it's like, how do you know it's money restricting you versus creativity restricting you?
So like honestly, we actually by the end of last year, we didn't take all the agreements in December that we could have. So we actually pushed some agreements that we're just going to start them in January, where we knew that we were going to get more people, because we wanted to make sure that we actually have enough account managers to take care of them, rather than us ending up on a situation where we actually were a bit like earlier last year, where we had a lot of customers coming in and then like not clear enough processes, not enough people to then actually serve them in a level that we wished to serve them. So
people to serve them. I mean, this sounds to me like a lot like agencies and agency margin. I mean, you haven't used the word software to serve them at all. I mean, this is really, I mean, this feels to me like an agency.
Well, I'll put it this way. Every single like campaign that we run are 100% using our platform. So you can't run a single campaign, even our agency, if you will, can't run a single campaign without utilizing our platform. And on the other side, we have customers that only use our platform, where we just solve like technical related issues with.
Well, but then why do you require hiring more account reps to onboard new people if they only use the technology? Why do you need more why do you have to throw humans at the problem?
I guess it comes down to also the fact on kind of our main customer segments right now. So we have three main customer segments. We have bigger like enterprise solutions, where we talk about like the giants in the gaming industry. If you take a look at on our site, you can see multiple of these. So Rovio being one of the examples, but like then out of the ones that we can't disclose, if you take a look at top 10 mobile gaming companies, so we have plenty of those, and like with those, like they really want hands-on help and someone from our team to actually help on the strategies as well. And then on the second tier, we have sort of a bit smaller companies that do like require that like hands-on support, our customer success managers to help them. And then we have like the self-serve segment, which is currently the one that we have not optimized as much as the Format 2.
I guess we're running out of time here, but I do want to say, you said very definitively when I said, are you bootstrapped? You said, yes, but that will change this year. Do you have a term sheet in hand already, or why do you say that so confidently?
Yeah. So we've had plenty of discussions and actually multiple of those late last year, and now kind of just figuring out how to move forward from here.
Well, but you didn't answer my question. Do you have a signed term sheet?
Not yet signed.
Okay. So like, how do you convert those conversations into real action? Because a lot of founders right now are having a lot of conversations, but the VC market is closed. I mean, effectively closed.
Yeah. So where we found success is really by, well, first of all, we are a profitable business. So that puts us in a totally different situation than a lot of developers, companies just trying to make it. And just how you can actually articulate the vision. I think that's kind of the learning that I did over 100 calls last year with VCs to kind of get to a point where we have multiple term sheets, and we actually have the opportunity to decide where to go. So yeah, Just
but you just to be clear,
help,
you don't have multiple term sheets right now.
Yeah, we do. So I say we didn't sign one.
Oh, you do have term sheets though.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So I guess what are you waiting for?
We're waiting for like we could have had this conversation in about 2 weeks or so, and I could have been able to answer a bit differently, but yeah. Anyways, I'm sure like that funding situation is about to change.
Jesse, the purpose
sorry for being a brick.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense what you're saying, and I'm trying to help my founders learn who are listening. You said you had a lot of calls last year. Macroeconomics are changing, things that are totally outside of your control, right? It has nothing to do with your business, but VC markets are shut down. You're saying, not for me. I'm going to get a deal done, and I'm going to say it very confidently. My audience is going to go, well, why is he so confident? Even other profitable bootstrap companies can't raise right now. No one can raise equity right now. Why can you raise equity?
Yeah. Okay. So I have some NDAs in place where that prevents me from saying too much. But like so we've actually signed like a letter of intents already, and so on, and things are moving on that front.
I get the reason I'm asking these questions is because like there's tons of VCs right now that are still taking meetings with founders, and those VCs are not deploying money. They just take the meetings that feels good. That's what they're supposed to be doing as a quote VC. They're not actually deploying. I mean, how do you make sure this LOI, the term, whatever that you've signed, how do you make sure it actually gets done and you hedge yourself from these macroeconomic risks of the world economy going into a recession and impacting the VC you signed an LOI with?
Well, what like one thing as well, like for us, it was hardest to get like that first term sheet. But as soon as we got that, so then like all the other VCs got scared. And now we're in a situation where the one that we move forward with is going to be closed soon.
How much are you hoping to raise?
1.5 million.
Okay, 1.5. Interesting. And this would be most folks in their pre-seed round are selling, 15, 20% of the company. Are you sort of in that range?
Yeah, a bit less than that actually. So we were happy to make quite good terms.
Yeah, so that's what, like a 7-8 million post-money valuation, selling under 15% of the company, something like that.
12 to be exact.
Oh, that's great. I mean, that's great. I mean, so that would be more than you can do the multiple on that, right? But that's a good multiple in this market. You're confident that multiple will hold up as you go through diligence and actually work towards the money being wired and closed?
Yep.
Okay. Very cool. And what's the team size today? How many folks are full time?
13. Sorry, full time. So actually, 9. Just
9.
got one guy left for student leave.
Very cool.
So yeah.
Well, we hope you get everything closed. We're out of time though today. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite book?
Monetizing Innovation. I would have said Lord of the Rings or something, but business related. So Monetizing Innovation.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I have to say, even though this guy is a mainstream guy, so the Supercell CEO Ilkka Paananen, us being heavily invested in gaming industry, and he for 2 reasons. One,
sorry, what was his name, Jesse?
Ilkka Paananen. So he's the CEO of Supercell, the Finnish gaming giant. Yep. So yeah, he's also like whenever we talk with startups, it's either him personally or Supercell that's kind of backed them here in Finland. So that's, I think, awesome as well that they put the success back to the market.
Very cool. Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building Geeklab?
I would people will hate me for this, but I have to say ChatGPT has just made so many processes so much faster.
Great. Number 4,
or GitHub GoHub. Yeah.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Between 5 to 6.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married for 3 years now.
Any kids?
No, not yet.
All right. And Jesse, how old are you?
This company, 27.
Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Don't invest in cryptos.
Guys, there you have it. He was in charge of getting installs done at his last mobile gaming company, mobile app gaming company, and said, there's no good tool for this. Let me build it. He launched Geeklab.app in 2019. They're doing $60,000 a month today in revenue across 60 paid accounts, up from $27,000 a month just a year ago. They're looking right now at getting a round done, targeting a 1.5 million raise at somewhere near 12 million post money valuation. We're certainly, Jesse, rooting for you. Thanks for taking us to the top.
Thanks. Thank you.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.